our third episode, and tonight we are interviewing two members of the band, the Melbourne band Didactic. We've got Liam and Joe. How you going, guys?
Hey, good. How are you? Nice to see you.
Excellent. I made a mistake last week before my interview. I ate too much and I felt like I was going to explode the whole way through. This week, a mug of soup and a little bit of bread, and I'm all good. I'll pig out later. So all right, good to see you guys. So first off, straight up, tell me, who are you, and tell me what is Didactic?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm Joe. I'm the vocalist.
Yeah, and I'm Liam. I'm the guitarist.
Yeah, and we formed in Melbourne, but three of us, our bass player Buddy as well, are from the far south coast of New South Wales, like Pambula, Roombula area.
Yep.
We all went to like the same high school, and obviously, just got together down here and started playing music. And our drummer, he's from Melbourne. Yeah. So we met him here.
Yeah, so I've been playing together for a few years now, and it started off with me and Joe just jamming, and then we recruited a few other members, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
So I have to ask this because it's just such an interesting name, Didactic. Where did it come from? Who came up with it?
Yeah, that was me. And the word itself is a very interesting word in itself. Like it's I've always just found it like it's just a cool word, like didactic, and it sort of has like connotations of, it started off as, I think it was like a word for, people use it as like moral teaching sort of thing, but it's sort of morphed into more of a term now that they use, like if the teacher's didactically teaching, it's pretty to the book, like pretty dry sort of stuff. It's sort of taken a few forms over its time, the word itself, I think, from what I've read. But yeah, it's just a word, good flow.
Trying to get some sort of message and meaning behind the music, I guess, and the name kind of lent itself to that a bit.
Yeah. It sort of tied to a lot of the political aspects and stuff that we roll with.
Yeah. So I mean, admittedly, I did a little bit of research because I didn't want to look like a twit. So yeah, the teaching aspect and the moral, the moral aspect of it as well. So I mean that sparks the next question, and do you have a message? I mean, do you have a succinct answer as to what your message is, or do you have a lot of messages and you just want people to hear them?
I think like the main message from and a fair few of the political aspects of the songs, certainly it's just in a similar way to Rage, I don't know, like against just the corporate greed and how it doesn't have any sort of human aspects to it. It'll just roll over anyone and anything at any time, under any circumstance. There's no real human attachment. It's not like arms of government, when used well, it's for the people, like they're there to look after you, but when they're geared towards looking after corporations and everything, people go out the window. And then like when it's sort of aided by a corporate media landscape, then you find people receiving information that makes them vote in governments that are not for us, really. They make decisions on the part of corporations that will do favours for them or for their party or for anyone, really. So that's sort of the main.
Yeah, that's the main political messaging behind it. We also do a lot of messaging on a lot of mental health kind of stuff, I guess, stuff that delves into mental health issues such as depression or anxiety and stuff like that, trauma and stuff like that. And that comes a bit from personal experience, but also trying to, try and get out that message and yeah, kind of get out that message with our music and make people think and talk about it and stuff like that.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. And I think that they're probably two ideas, you know, the mental health aspect, and, you know, this is the, you know, if we say the machine, mainly because it's written on your shirt, but if we say, you know, the machine rolling over you, that this causes this, you know, that you know, and to have those two paired up in your music and in your lyrics makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate that. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it gives us something to kind of work our music towards, gives it some kind of purpose, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, and it pairs well with the heavy style music, I guess, as well.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of frustration and stuff like that.
So vocally, let's talk vocals.
Yeah.
So you're the first vocalist. I've only interviewed, you know, this is my third interview here, but you're the first vocalist that doesn't also play an instrument. So do you, I mean, and I've heard the power in your vocals, and I've heard the sounds and the stuff in it. Do you use any equipment with that? Do you use any pedals? Do you use anything special with it, or is it just you and a mic?
Yeah, it's just me and Mike. Yeah. I'm not so good with the equipment side. I'll get better at it one day, but at the moment, yeah, it's just me and the mic.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Well, we're gonna shut you down for just a second because we're going to talk gear about guitars now. So
Can't help with that.
I didn't want to leave you out. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything in the background that I hadn't seen, you know. Okay, so let's talk guitars. What gear do you use? What's your equipment?
So I use my main guitar is an Ibanez RG 421.
Yep.
So that's the main one I use, really. And I just go for a Marshall amp, a DSL 20.
Yep.
Just a small combo amp kind of thing, which is mic'd up.
Yep.
I'm really simple guitarist, really. I don't use a hell of a lot of pedals or a lot of fancy kind of equipment or anything. I kind of just want to get it as simple as possible, really.
Yeah.
But pedal, tuner, reverb, what else? Whammy pedal now. And that's about it. Pretty simple.
Yeah, awesome. And look, you know, that's amazing, because you get so many guys that have umpteen pedals and they use them all, and then you get guys such as yourself that keep it straight and simple, and still hammer out like big tones, big, you know, great sounding instruments. And that's what I love about it. There's no you must do this or you must do that. There's so much that you can play with.
Exactly. I have a million pedals to make a million sounds. And if I had too many, it'd probably confuse me too much, to be honest. I'm a bit like Joe. I'm not really much of a nerd, really, with all that kind of stuff.
Bang it out. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So tell me then influences. And first off, we'll talk about individuals. So Liam, talk to me about your personal influences.
Yeah. I've got a lot of different influences. They all started from probably the grunge era, kind of grunge and rock and roll kind of stuff, when I first started playing guitar and listening to music.
Yep. A
lot of bands like Pearl Jam, Faith No More, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, stuff like that. Those kind of bands really they got me into guitar. Those kind of hard rock, bluesy, grungy kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then from there, it kind of morphed into more of a metal, heavy punk kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So new metal kind of stuff. So Korn, Slipknot, Kublai Khan, just lots of different heavy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always kept listening to grunge. Really. That's something that's remained kind of solid. And with both of us, really, we're both into all the grunge kind of stuff.
Yeah. But that's my era, man. I grew up in that. That was my time. I love it.
Yeah, like
So Joe, what for you? Same sort of influences there?
Yeah, I'd say like starting out when I was a lot younger, like listening to what my dad used to listen to, it was like Nick Cave and Johnny Cash, starting with that, like Bob Dylan, and then moved on to Jimi Hendrix and like Clapton and that sort of 60s era, the Rolling Stones. And then, yeah, it was actually a bit of a progression step to like, I think System of a Down was really the first heaviest stuff that I started listening to, then Rage, and then Tool. Tool are like big one. I love Tool. And yeah, kept going from there. Then Korn and Parkway. Parkway was like the step into metalcore.
Okay.
And then from there it was just like, yeah, anything now, Sugar.
yeah, more heavy.
Yeah.
Kind of goes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Once you get to Meshuggah, there's not really any further you can go, I don't think.
Yeah. Meshuggah.
But I disagree. There is always more. There is always more. So for this band, so for Didactic, what groups would you say, or groups or people would you say really influence the style of music in Didactic then?
Probably guitar wise, probably Korn influences a lot. We're not on set or anything like that, but just the kind of bounce and the groove we try and get a lot from the Korn kind of guys. What else for guitar wise? Probably like Kublai Khan is a big one as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Even bands like Carnival and stuff, they're always big influences. Vocally,
vocally it would be
in our band. Yeah.
Hey,
in our band.
Yeah. Vocally, probably like Parkway. Yeah, stepping towards Parkway was just I don't know. His vocals are so good. Lyrically, like Rage Against the Machine, Korn lyrically as well. I like Korn's lyrics.
It's a massive melting pot of different stuff in Didactic. It's
So neither of you have mentioned the couple of things that I've heard. I've been listening, like leading up to this interview for the last week. I've been listening to your stuff on Spotify, and I've been able to, like, really listening to it on Spotify is clearly different to seeing you guys live. The energy that you guys produce live is just okay. That's what it is. It's phenomenal, right? It's just bang. And that's brilliant. And I suggest anyone who wants to get hit in the face with some good stuff, get out and see Didactic live, because you'll never forget it. It's brilliant. But the interesting thing on Spotify that I found was I was really able to I suppose listen over and over and hear some of that stuff again. And something that I found, your cadence in your vocals with, and I've got to look this up. Vomit Yourself Clean and Cannibal, I can hear Mike Patton's cadence in that. There's a real Faith No More Angel Dust. You know, the album Angel Dust. There's a real cadence in the voice, and I was like, fuck man, I like that. That's great. Like especially when you get into those softer tones. You know, when you're not belting it out and it's coming out, there's that cadence. So Mike Patton, is that one that you would? Yeah.
That's me.
That's what I was thinking. I thought, because you know, when we all talk about our influences, we often forget it unless we've written it down, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's definitely a big one. Yeah.
And I would even say like the you know, and again, Vomit Yourself Clean, which I think is probably my favorite track, has a real you were talking about new metal, a little bit of Linkin Park, even in the music, not so much the lyrics in that, but the and I just find that's a really cool, like, I sat there and I thought, fuck, I wonder what happened if Patton, not that he ever would, but if Patton was to step in with Linkin Park, you know, and just have a gig, you know, just have a shot. I wonder what that would sound like. And I think in that track, that's kind of what we're talking about.
Oh,
Would you say? Would you?
That's it.
So yeah, it was just really interesting for me to hear that and just go, oh, what about that? So all right, cool. So we've talked about influences and stuff. So that's nice. I can check that off. So tell me then, you guys have been going since 2019-ish, and obviously COVID's a bit of a bitch as far as playing gigs. But in that time, tell me, in Didactic, so not other bands, but in Didactic, what would be your favourite gig played? As in, you know, think about the band you played with, the venue. You just had a great night. You know, what would be your favourite?
Yeah, it'd have to be the Last Chance gig, the one earlier this year, Last Chance Rock and Roll Bar.
I'm just going to say there's no pressure to say pick one where Ocean Lord played. I just wanted to be clear on that.
It's always a blast though. Like that, yeah, that one was so much fun. That was the funnest night. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's lucky we got to do that one before we kind of had another break because of COVID. We played in the last how many years?
Yeah, a year and a bit or whatever.
So that was our last gig actually. So that was great.
Yeah, that was so
fantastic. No, I'll say that was a great night too. That was like I said before, you guys, the power that you guys are putting off was just phenomenal. So yeah, it was really enjoyable. And I don't want to get too into it, but I'm also vegan, and the Last Chance do vegan chicken and shit. So it was the gig and the food, and it was just great. So apart and again, no pressure to say Ocean Lord. Who's your favourite band to go and see locally? Like, you know, Melbourne, Victoria kind of band. Who's the band that you go, oh, got to go to that?
I think it's probably Pridelands.
Yeah.
Pridelands,
yeah.
So I've seen them a lot of music. One of our mates is the drummer in there, and just a great band, great up and coming band.
The energy and the sound like live is incredible. They're a really good show to go and see.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I haven't seen them, so I'll definitely make that a go when we can ever go out. You know, if we're ever allowed out of our houses again. I'll go and see Pridelands. Awesome. So let's talk about, you know, you get the power of the gods, and you can choose any 3 bands that have ever existed ever. Tell me the lineup for your dream gig. Maybe each of you have a go at this.
That's a hard question. Three gigs is not enough.
No, that's it. Three bands, one night. Who are they?
Okay. Hendrix, absolutely.
In what sort of, are we talking Jimi Hendrix Experience?
Sorry, the Experience.
Yep.
Jimi Hendrix Experience. Playing all their classics. Tool have to be in there for me. And then the third one, there are so many. I'll pick someone that I haven't seen. It'd have to be, I don't know what I was going to say. Like Audio Slave, that'd be really cool. Chris Cornell.
That would have been great.
That would be so good. Yeah.
And before we go on, it's interesting. I've done 3 of these interviews, and every time Jimi Hendrix Experience comes up.
Really?
Every time. It's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And
okay, for me, so hard. Probably Faith No More. That's one of them.
Yeah.
Korn and probably now on the Audio Slave kind of train, probably Soundgarden. They'd probably be my top 3.
Okay, fantastic. And what I like about that is I've seen all 3 of them, so I'm pretty happy about that. I couldn't imagine them on the same bill in their day, but if you got the 3 of those bands in their prime together in one night, you just So but who would take top billing in that one?
Headlining.
Probably, well, I don't know. Out of Faith No More and Soundgarden, probably Soundgarden, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's too hard to choose, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you'd want to end the night on some massive song. Yeah, that'd be a hard one to do. All right, so we touched before a little bit on COVID. What does the future look like? What do you guys think? Melbourne gigging is going to be like in the next, I don't know how long. What do you think is going to happen?
Oh, yeah, that's a hard question. It's so hard to predict anything at the moment. But yeah, personally, like in terms of the band, we definitely want to just play as many gigs as we're allowed to.
Yeah, as many as we've missed. We've missed so much time. So.
Yeah. Anywhere, anytime, we'll just turn up and happily. And in terms of the future of gigging, sort of, it's hard to know. Yeah, I just hope it can really come back. Like obviously with the vaccines and everything, certainly, just like vaccine entry or whatever, and be able to have shows again. Like they're doing it in England, you see the festivals and stuff. So
yeah, I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah, certainly possible.
I think I'll probably be off a vaccine kind of entry system or something of that nature.
Yeah,
but I'm hopeful it'll just go back to how it was, or as close as to how it was before. That's all we can hope for, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I think at this point, anyone in the music industry in Melbourne is kind of like, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to get back on stage? What do I have to do? What do I have to do to get a crowd, a max crowd in kind of thing? And they're probably pretty open to it, to whatever it is. I mean, I'm a bass player. I don't use this finger. So, if it's got to come off and that's what it means to be able to go gigging, let's go.
Yeah. He doesn't need any hands. So.
Yeah.
That's let's hope it doesn't get to that, but yeah. So you guys have just recently released, I saw release some stuff on what do you call it, Spotify. So and I mean that stuff just came out in March. So what's the plan at the moment for you guys while we ride this out? Are you just sort of hunkering down and waiting, or are you writing music? Dealing out merch? What's the go?
At the moment, we're still writing a lot of music. We're doing demos, stuff like that, trying to get together probably a new EP or something like that, I'd say. Yeah. So we've been pretty productive, which is good. Yeah, we built a vocal booth in the lounge room. Yeah. So that's been getting some good music, like making demos and stuff. So trying to keep as productive as possible and trying to work on some new stuff, I guess.
Yeah. And how's that release going for you? Has it been getting some good response?
Yeah, it's been going pretty good. Yeah, we didn't. Unfortunately, we didn't really get a chance to gig around it much or anything due to the pandemic, but we've got some good response from it, and really excited to build on from that and get some more music out there very soon.
Cool.
Yeah. I think also we did get as well, like because there was a mix of different sounds and stuff in there, and like the response of people's favourite songs it certainly steered us towards a different, well, not a complete, like it's still the same sound really, but just like what we can really focus on.
Yeah.
Because with the first release, you sort of have no idea. It's like, oh well, yeah, we'll just see what sounds good, and then you get your feedback, and we've been working on the positive feedback that we've gotten.
Yeah, it definitely helps you kind of refine your sound a bit more, and we're constantly refining our sound, and the next release that come out will be more didactic, I guess.
Yeah.
And who mastered it?
Our mate Tommy. So it's one of my friends he lives in Canberra, so he did us a big favour. So we're thankful for Tommy. He mastered it for us.
Awesome. No, it sounds really good. It sounds really good. And so when you say you're hopefully planning for another EP, what sort of time frame are we talking about?
Hard one. It's a very hard one because of the restrictions and all that kind of stuff. But I'd say, I don't know, early next year. Yeah. Late this year, early next year.
Yeah.
That ballpark.
Okay. So that's soon.
Yes. Well, hopefully. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. We're almost up for our time. I did want to like we just talked about your release, which is obviously we're going to put some links and shit down there somewhere, and stuff like that. But what I do want to do is ask, I've got my Spotify playlist now. At the moment, I've got 2 songs that have been chosen by people I've interviewed, and 8 fillers. So what I want to do is get you guys to choose one of your songs, I'm assuming, to put on to the Spotify playlist. So what are we going to put on?
Episode?
Yeah, we'll put on Episode, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Episode. Tell me a bit about Episode. What's
Episode's more into the mental health aspect, like it's sort of written in the period of like when you sort of hit the absolute bottom, and it's just you can't really like comprehend what's going on. And I sort of just thought like people go on about like how smart artificial intelligence and all that sort of stuff is, and like it's just when you've got that sort of feeling of that like despair and you're that down, and you just can't imagine any intelligence or like artificially could be created that could possibly wrap its head around it or deal with it or work through it, because it's such a human experience, like all those emotions, like emotion, that's the human experience, that's what you feel, and that's what hits you the hardest at those times. So that's sort of
and that song is probably my favorite personally. It's probably your favorite too. But that song, I know it's super heavy track, very bouncy, very dark, and I think that's kind of more the direction we're kind of heading with some of our new stuff we've been working on too. So I think that's a good one to put in the playlist.
Yeah, fantastic. I like that you're heading that way. It's good. It's good, but I do like the subject matter as well. It's I'll be honest, it's somewhere I have been in my life, and I found and people talk about dark times in your life and how you get through and stuff like that, and it's interesting you talk about Korn and stuff like that, and I attach a lot of stuff to a lot of those early tracks, to shit that I was going through as well, and it's just like that honesty and that openness that the listener has with the music and the band. It's almost it almost creates a bond, especially if you can hook into that and go, I know what he's talking about, I get it. It's like it's a good way to be, and I think that honesty in music is really, really important. So it's good.
Really makes a piece of music so much more authentic, and something you can with like Korn's their first album and stuff like that, you listen to those songs and it hits you straight. And if we can try and put a bit of that into our music wherever possible, I think it's a big thing. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's great. All right, well, guys, I'm gonna put some links
down there, and down there somewhere. I'll put links to your Bandcamp and your Insta and all those sort of things in as well. Joe and Liam, thank you very much for your time. And these are two of the guys from Didactic. Thanks for coming along and having a chat.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, cheers.